Happy Tuesday, cruisers. So happy to be here with you live on YouTube. I hope everyone is having an awesome week so far. Today we're going to have some fun. We invite you to jump into the chat if you're here live. Let us know when you are cruising next and also participate in our poll. We are asking our audience today if you remove the automatic gratuities or not. So jump in there and answer that poll. I am going to shut off the voting at 6 p.m. Central approximately, and we'll see what everyone had to say. If you are part of our Patreon community, jump into the chat and say crew so we know that you are here. It is awesome to be here with everybody. Thank you all so much for the awesome messages and for the engagement on our posts this week. We really love seeing all of you over on Facebook and Instagram. If you're not already following us there, please hunt us down. There are links in the description, but really you just have to go over and type in Cruise Tips TV on Instagram and Facebook, and we'd love to have you follow us there. And if you want to send me a direct message over there and say, hey, I found you on YouTube, that'd be great. We post a lot of really cool things over there, whether it's awesome Labor Day sale finds from Amazon for travel and cruise, or whether it's new website articles. That is what we love to do over there. Speaking of website articles, this article was actually inspired by a couple of articles that we wrote about tipping. And we were really surprised when we went ahead and posted these articles on our Facebook page that a lot of people actually said that they do remove automatic gratuities. And most of them said we cash tip. You know, it's not like we're not tipping anybody, but we actually do remove the automatic gratuities. And we were kind of shocked at the percentage of people that said that. So we wanted to come on and talk about this sort of sensitive and taboo topic tonight on the live stream and get everyone's thoughts. I want to jump into the chat and see everybody. Hi, Sharon. I see you there. Hello, Willie B crew. I see lots of our backstage crew members here. Thank you guys so much for being here and for being a part of our amazing backstage crew family. I'm going to pop out the chat so I can see everybody. I'm also excited to look at all of your cruise countdowns to see where everybody is going next. Definitely jump in and participate in the poll if you can. Thank you, Gabrielle. Yes, this dress is actually, it's a swimsuit cover-up and it's on sale. It is linked in the description of this video, but really the cool thing about this is that it is part of the Labor Day sale on Amazon. So let me, I'll put a link in there for you and you can take a peek. I want to just make sure that I actually got it into this list. I think that I did, but I want to make sure it's in there. Hold on. It's such a cute cover up and it really kind of wears like a dress. That's the funny thing. It's like, wait, this is really more of like this is more of a dress in my opinion. Let me get it and add it into that Labor Day list for you guys really fast. And then I'll pop a link in to the chat with the dress there. Just one moment. All right. Almost there, friends. I can never get my fingers to go as fast as I want them to. There we go. Okay, got it. And adding it to the Labor Day list. And there it is. Now I can get you guys this link. We'll be all set. All right, we did it. Hi, Mindy. Good to see you here. Oh my gosh, Mindy has been with us this morning. She was on Amazon Live and she is here now. All right, let's get to those questions, talk about cruise gratuities, and see who's in the chat. Hello. Nancy's here. Hi, Nautical Nurse Nancy. Nancy said, we would not ever remove gratuities. Thank you for your input on that, Nancy. She says, I never feel like they're too much, but sometimes this day and age, everywhere, where everyone is asking for tips, even for non-tip worthy things. Yeah, I get it. I feel like there is, to some degree, there is just too much expectation of tipping. And I hate to use this example because I don't want to name a brand, but I have to in order to give this example. And that is that we have started noticing that when we go to Subway to get sandwiches, that when you put your credit card in the machine, they're asking for tips at the end. One of the things I like about quick serve food and that I appreciate sometimes is that you don't have to tip, and that's what keeps the cost down for your family. So I think it's kind of interesting, right? Another good example is like when you go to a coffee shop, right? And there's kind of an expectation there. I think it's kind of interesting. Amber Holly said, I prepay gratuities so I don't have to think about it while on board. It feels like it's cheaper that way. Yeah, I mean, I totally psychologically agree with that line of thinking. Then you're not dealing with it at the end of the cruise. Sharon said, well, gratuities are supposed to be given after service rendered. However, cruise lines seem to treat it as a service charge. Exactly, Sharon. They have treated them as a service charge for quite some time instead of building it into the cruise fare, at least in North America, which I know a lot of people don't really like. And I think a lot of us wish that they would build it into the cruise fare. We want those people taken care of. I think the cruise lines are worried that people wouldn't do as much of a good job, right, if the tips were automatic, which is interesting. Cheryl said, we would never remove, we give extra when we get special service. Yeah, that's pretty much how we do it too. We've never removed gratuities either, and we've almost always given extra to the key people that serve us. Not everyone, but key people that serve us. Dale White said, if you can't afford gratuities, you can't afford to cruise. Ooh, unpopular opinion, Dale, but I have to agree. And people have to be educated on the fact that gratuities are part of the cruise cost. Dale said cruise lines should just include it as part of the price and call it a cruise service fee. I think that's a really good idea. And you know, it's like what do we have, guys? We have port fees and taxes. Why not have cruise service? All right, so let's get controversial here. Let's hear from some people who do remove those gratuities. I'm actually going to go ahead and jump in, and I'm going to stop that poll that's running at the top, okay? How do I stop the poll? It's giving me a hard, okay, the end poll. The poll has been ended. So apparently 87% of you do not remove cruise gratuities, but 13% of you do. Let's hear it from those of you who do remove the gratuities. Very curious to know. John said, well, I don't like speaking in absolutes. We never remove. Chris Sukarata said, DoorDash Uber wants tips before you get your food. I don't believe in that, but if you don't tip them, you won't know what you're getting. Oh my gosh. Isn't that scary, Chris? Yeah. And don't DoorDash and Uber Eats, don't they also charge a service charge? In some cities, I know when we were in Seattle, they had a charge before the gratuity. So it was like the food and the service charge, which I know is going to the crew, to the staff, and then it was gratuity on top of that. And I don't know what that's all about, but I wasn't sure where it was going. I was confused, so I tipped again. Good point, Chris. Kelly Taliaferro said, gratuities are important on a cruise. We give extra for excellent service. Tipping, not necessary for other places like Subway, coffee, etc. Yeah, and I mean, like, when I go to Subway, I actually do tip because I live in a very small town, so I give them 10%. But that's a significant amount of money if you're spending 30 bucks, right? Coffee, I'll throw 50 cents in the tip jar sometimes. Interesting, Michelle. Michelle said, this is one of the reasons I opted for Princess Premier on our upcoming cruise. Sharon said, I've actually removed gratuities on one sailing. Spoke to an officer about the experience and he agreed I should. Yeah, and I mean, if you got really poor service and you went to someone and said, hey, this is what is going on, I think it's important to address the issue too in some way. Then, you know, maybe there's a time and a place for it. Thanks for sharing that, Sharon. Alicia Abad said, we spoke to a bartender on Royal Caribbean Cruise and he was unaware of exactly how much he actually received from those gratuities. We feel better tipping him extra and he took good care of us. You know, and I think that with the bartenders, that is a very good example of what a cash tip, an extra cash tip, could go a long way. I see a big old super chat in the house from someone that I have missed very much. First Sergeant Richard, how are you doing? Milady, Gigi and I always give an extra tip, especially when we get a drink using our status, even though gratuities are already charged. The smile on the face of the great cruise workers is worth it. Thank you very much for the super chat, First Sergeant. I just noticed there was a like button on the super chats now. Thank you for the super chat. I just replied to it for the first time ever. I didn't even know that that was a thing. That's really neat. Thank you. Hi, Midge. Great to have you here. Yeah, interesting, Laura. Yes, charge a service charge in Chicago, DoorDash. Yes, those big cities, right? So they let you adjust it after deliveries, Weber Davis. That's Willie B, yeah? Yeah. I know, right, Dale? That emoji would be a good one. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I'm with you. Lindsay said, I like that Princess includes gratuities in the Plus and Premier packages. So have we heard from anybody? Other than Sharon, has anybody removed gratuities and want to admit it in the live chat? I feel like everybody's probably a little bit scared. Now, let me ask you this. What would be a reason? What would be something that would be bad enough to remove gratuities? In your opinion, even as a kind tipper, what would be a reason to remove gratuities either from the dining room staff or from the room steward? What would they have to do or not do to have some their gratuities removed? Let's go ahead and say that. I'm trying to think about it. I mean, I think you would have to have like a complete absence of service. Like for me, it would have to be that they just never came and cleaned my room. Like they didn't do their job, right? Maybe. Or in a dining room, maybe someone who was extremely rude. Candy is awesome said a room not being properly cleaned. That is a great example. Something happening. Yes, good one, Candy. Yes, Mitzi. We thought it would be a good topic to jump in and just have an open dialogue about. Sharon said when she removed the gratuities, she did tip her room steward. So you remove them from the dining staff, right? Okay, gotcha. Willie said bad service, rude behavior. Tam Carp said never cleaned my room. Mindy said if a server spilled hot soup down my back and I caught a steward stealing, I might remove gratuity. I love your specificity. That is some very specific stuff, Mindy. Good job. Thank you. I love it. Diane said answer if something was stolen from my cabin. Diane, excellent example. And I think you'd have to go beyond that even, right? Removing gratuities and some disciplinary action, obviously, right? If not legal action. Laurel said if the cabin wasn't clean and the dining staff was rude. Bobby said I've never removed him, but I've had one room steward that didn't get anything extra. Yeah. Dave said he can't think of a time. Dale said it would have to be something they had control over. I'm not going to not tip my dining room staff because the steak was overcooked. Right. Food quality is certainly not their fault. Exactly. Great example. Yeah, Keith said gratuity. Hi, Keith, by the way. Keith said gratuities on a cruise are part of their pay. I've talked to employees on Carnival behind the fun tour. Ooh. Uh-oh. Meow Hiss Purr Scratch said my room steward scolded me for getting ketchup on my sheets. I don't remove gratuities, but I avoided him the rest of the trip. That is not cool. That is not cool. They should never, ever scold you for anything unless you had a cigarette burn in your sheets. Okay, maybe getting in trouble for that, but food, sorry, that's going to happen, especially if you have a child. Hello? Come on. That would make me really upset. Sharon said, I've had bad service for 5 days straight. Spoke to the maitre d' and my officer went over everything that happened to my husband and I, and they agreed it was unacceptable. Yeah. Oh, that can be a real downer, can't it? Juanita said they always tip, but on the last cruise there was an incident and they actually gave the room steward an extra 100. So there was an incident, like, you mean something good happened and you gave him an extra $100? When I think of an incident, I think of something bad. I'm like, what happened but maybe they earned it. Something happened and you needed a little extra love and attention. That's kind of what I'm thinking you must mean by that. Yeah, right, exactly, John. Yeah, really, Candy. That ketchup room steward, uncool. That's awesome. Misty, we love when we have new cruisers or returning cruisers here. It is so nice to know that you're here with us. Thank you, and welcome back to cruising. Oh, no, not back. This is your first cruise, Misty. Well, we're thrilled to have you here, and we hope that we can be an excellent resource for you as you plan your cruise. So Weber Davis said, so for the dining room, if you remove the tip, is it just for the waiters or is it for the entire crew serving you, including kitchen staff? Same for the room steward, that the tip is going to laundry staff. Yeah, those behind the scenes people, right? The truth is we don't really know. There's very few cruise lines that actually publish that information, but mainly it would be your dining staff or room steward are the two key people who get it. So, oh no, your birthday cruise, Sharon. Oh my God. Oh. That's all. Yeah. Darlene said they used to remove gratuities, but always tip individually and very generously. So do you tip, Darlene, do you tip above and beyond what would have been the automatic gratuities? Do you tip more or do you tip less? I know, Tam Carp, I wish that too. Dale thinks that you should have left that room steward a bag of ketchup packets. That would have been funny. Yeah, that is not acceptable. You should never scold a guest under any circumstances. And if there's something the guest deserves to be scolded for, that should be the management's responsibility. That shouldn't fall on a room steward. Wow, that's great. Weber Davis, you do that extra 30 to 50 to the waitstaff and 50 to the room steward. That's really nice. Yeah, Raiders fan didn't know any better. See, now this is the kind of conversation I wanted to have. Why did you what happened? Well, it was your first cruise. You didn't know any better. You saw the service charge. You're like, I'm not paying for that. And you had it taken. That is a common thing because this is a weird thing about cruise travel, you guys. It is weird that we actually expect people to know that their tips are going to be added. Where else in this hospitality industry does that happen? Unless you're dining at a restaurant where there's a party of 8 or more, there's no auto gratuities in the hotel industry or anything like that. It's not a thing. So sometimes there's misunderstandings. Yeah, I know, Emily. Isn't it wonderful that we have Misty here hanging out with us? Yay, yes. Oh, wow, that is awesome. Oh my gosh, Heather said friends that had a medical emergency in the room tipped the room service more for coming in the middle of the night to clean the room. Yeah, that's a good reason, Heather. That's a really good reason. The middle of the night, that's precious that they did that they took care of them. Aw, so sweet. Wow. Chris said, how do you feel with cruises leaving a tip to room stewards and they do the money in sign? What? Sorry, Chris. I don't understand the question. I'm going to try to read that again. How do you feel with cruises leaving a tip to room stewards and they do the money inside? Oh, cute. I know what you mean now. So if you want to tip your room steward, you take a bunch of $1 bills and you write, you spell out thank you in dollars on the bed. I just got it, Chris. I'm so sorry. That was really, really hard for me to put together, but I've seen it done and I was like, okay, got it. I think it's the cutest thing ever. It takes a lot of time. Personally, I don't have that many small bills, so I'd probably never do it. I'm just gonna slip them a thank you card and a note with 40 bucks in it or whatever and write to them and say, you made a difference. Thank you so much. We appreciate what you do, blah, blah, blah. So yes, exactly, Dale, exactly, Candy. People don't necessarily know. Nancy said, I accidentally spilled dark powdered eyeshadow on our bed cover and confessed to our room steward late in the day. He quickly changed the sheets even though I said no need. You know what? That's how it should be. And that's why cruising is special because they really do, Nancy, right? They go above and beyond. And Nancy said she gave a big extra tip. Misty said, I'm glad to be here watching and making nachos. Hey, it's a new cruiser nacho party, Misty. This is too good. I love it. So great. Dale said we had a back-to-back in 2023. We were quarantining the room for the last 4 days with COVID. The room steward and dining room staff were amazing, and we tipped them above and beyond. Now, that's a classy human right there. Dale has COVID, is quarantined in his room, probably miserable and bored, and still extra tips his room steward. This is why we have such an amazing community, guys. Willie B said, my staff at the cafe never seemed to get tips, so I drop extra in the jar. Oh, that's sweet, Willie. Kelly said, I got sick one night on a cruise and I felt so bad they had to clean the room late. Hubby and I gave the room steward an extra large tip. Felt awful. It happens, guys. It happens a lot. They are accustomed to dealing with that, and it is not terribly uncommon. I mean, can you imagine during a norovirus outbreak where, that people are uncontrollably and violently ill, gastro-wise. There's nothing they can do. You know it's going to happen sometimes. Aw. Yeah. That's so sweet. Keith said, where I work, we charge 20% charge on all the carry-out orders. Half of that is gratuity for the person who takes the order. That's very nice. Your restaurant has that policy. That's very unusual, Keith. That's very unusual. Mitzi said, why do they say remove once you get on board for the gratuity? If you did remove, does any drinks and food, do they add? If you did remove, Did any drinks and food they add on your card, Mitzi? I don't quite understand the question, Mitzi. I think, yeah, it's Stump Sherry night again. That's okay. Oh, Mitzi, reframe your question, hon. I'm so sorry to understand. Yeah. PJ has a good idea. PJ said, I have thank you cards that we write messages and add extra tips. I want them to feel appreciated for doing extra. Yeah, 100% agree with you. Yes. Jim Ring, you are so precious. Jim Ring said, I'm floating in my pool thinking about tipping on a cruise. Life is good. Jim, is it hot in California? Jim, we talked about you on the podcast today. So Mr. Cruise Tips TV said, what goes on in the Facebook group? And I said, a lot of things go on in the our Cruise Tips TV Facebook group. Mike and Cheryl help us to moderate it. And Jim posts fabulous jokes at least once a week. That's what goes on in there. That's it. You know, we have fun. We gotta love it. Oh, Misty Williams said, question is a little off topic. What is the pools on a ship like? Chlorine? Yes, they are chlorinated. Now, some of them are freshwater and some of them are saltwater, but they're still chlorinated either way. So I kind of prefer the saltwater because they drain them pretty frequently. Oh, would they put the tip on your card? Yeah, so if you Mitzi, if you don't prepay your gratuities with your cruise when you book it, what they're going to do is ask you to put a card on your account on the cruise so that any onboard spending would hit that card. And yes, hon, the tip would go onto your card. Great question. Sorry I didn't understand it the first time, Mitzi. Yeah. Weber Davis said, do the kids club staff get auto gratuities? I don't think that they do. But I know that actually a lot of parents do tip the extra, a little extra. It's possible that they get some kind of gratuities, but they're probably compensated differently from room stewards and dining staff from what I understand. So, but yeah, if you ever wanted to tip the kids club staff, I think it would be appropriate. We've actually only tipped kids club staff one time, and it was on Diamond Princess in Japan when our son spent an enormous amount of time there, and we actually got to know them. Other times we've never really gotten to know them. But we did give them cash at the end because they made our cruise extraordinarily special. Lori said, I have a tradition to tip the 2 crew members who made my cruise. It's fun to find the crew members on the last day before disembarkation and just let them know they're appreciated. I love that. Jacob said, have you had a chance to look into Princess Cruises' new premiere package? Yes, I am familiar with it. Jacob, did you have specific questions about it that I wasn't too sure about? I'd be more than happy to talk about Premiere. Are you asking like about the change, or are you asking about Plus and Premiere? Let me know. I'd be more than happy to help. Diane Cleveland said, I found out after years of cruising, my ex was only giving $1 for room service. I called him Dollar General. That is really cute. Dollar General. Those of us who live in the South have that store, that chain called Dollar General. If you're not familiar, it's kind of like a combination of a grocery store and a dollar store, but they kind of have everything except for produce. At least mine doesn't have market type foods. And a lot of us call it DG or Dollar Gen. So Diane, being a fellow Texan, knows what DG is, and so do Charles and Elizabeth. Amy said they should explain them better so people understand where the money is going. Yeah, I think there's a lack of transparency about that. So let's, yeah, I agree, Brenda. I'm with you. I wish they would just go ahead and add the tips into the price. It'd just be so nice. So to whomever asked about Princess Premiere and Princess Plus, for those of you guys who aren't familiar with Princess Plus and Premiere, I'll tell you what it is in case this helps someone. But Princess Plus and Premiere are 2 add-on packages that you can add to your cruise fare. So Princess Plus, you pay $60 per guest per day, and you get 1 device Wi-Fi, you get a beverage package. It's not unlimited, but it's pretty generous. You get crew gratuities or crew appreciation. You get 2 casual meals, like the pizza place and stuff like that. You get 2 premium desserts per day, unlimited room service, and 2 fitness classes. That's $60 a day. So basically you're getting a drink package, gratuities, and some Wi-Fi for $60 a day per person. For $90 per guest per day, you're getting a 4 device Wi-Fi plan, unlimited drinks. That's everything. Included tips, included specialty meals, unlimited, by the way. Unlimited casual meals, so you could go anywhere for free as much as you want with reservations. Professional photos, unlimited. Premium desserts, unlimited. And room service, unlimited. Fitness classes, unlimited. Reserved theater seating and princess prizes, which is like gambling when you open your door. So that's kind of what's interesting. There have been changes to this plan, and that is now that the Princess Premier plan includes unlimited dining. And what's upsetting to some experienced Princess cruisers is they're worried that now specialty dining is going to be impacted and difficult to make reservations in. PJ said, my back went out. I was taking meds, so my daughter with special needs, and I couldn't go to the main dining room. The dining room staff went to the, sent a plate to the room for her. Went, oh, that's so sweet. Oh my gosh. Yes, Jacob. Yeah, they made the specialty dining unlimited and drinks unlimited now. Yeah, so that's how it is for Premier now. They're really trying to leverage getting a higher amount of revenue when you book that cruise, right? I mean, it makes sense. Dale said if you take off the prepaid gratuities, make sure you hunt down the person who washes and folds your sheets and towels, the server who cleaned up after you on the Lido deck, etc. Yeah, right? Like all those people, all the behind-the-scenes people that you're neglecting to tip when you do that. Okay, friends, we're going to wrap up in just a few moments. We've got about 5 minutes or so left. Please answer any questions that you might have. Hi, Holly. Tony, interesting point about the Cheers package. Darlene, hun, thank you so much for the super chat. You are so precious. Thank you. I know, no. Oh my gosh. Brenda, me too. I'm like that when I go to the casino. I'll say I'm going to pay $20 and it'll be gone within minutes and I'm just done. Willie B, you're so precious. Thank you so much for the super chat. Willie B, you just bought me dinner. Tuesday night, we go out to dinner after our live streams, and you just bought me dinner. Y'all bought me dinner tonight. Our super chatters bought us dinner tonight. Secretary Weber Davis and Darlene and our Richard, who was here earlier. Thank you guys so very much. Mike and Cheryl bought us dinner last week. Oh, yay. Oh, Mike and Cheryl counting down to the cruise. All right, guys, do we have any other questions coming in? I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, Jim said on that Princess, you're going to need to book those specialty dining things in advance to nail down a date. Allow pre-booking for casual dining. Yeah. Okay, friends, we are excited to continue this party over on Amazon. But I am, instead of tonight, me going through Labor Day deals, I'm just going to go ahead and put the top Labor Day deals into the chat and let you guys go look at them yourself because there is a big Labor Day sale on Amazon and I personally can't go through every single item with you. So I want you to see the list and then come join us on Amazon Live. We're doing the after party right away. Like immediately after this, as soon as I can run to the restroom real quick, grab a cup of water and go live there, we're going to be talking all about fashion deals for men and women. So I have a variety of, ooh, that does not want to roll. I have a variety of different fashion items for guys and gals that would be great for cruises. Some shirts for men, some fall fashion for women and men. And that's what we're going to be doing after this. Thank you, Misty. Welcome. And we're so happy to be a resource for you, hun. Thank you for being a part of our live stream tonight. Okay, love it, Emily. Save it for next week. Great. PJ said Carnival has a discount on excursions, friends. Jump up in there. Thank you, Asha. Asha, my outfit is actually, it's a swimsuit cover-up, and it's on sale. It's in that link that I just put in. It's really cute, and it unbelted. You can see how it's more a swim cover-up when it's unbelted. But I like to wear it as a dress. I'm kind of funny like that. I think it's cute with sandals, and I'm rocking it at home in between cruises. Thank you for all of your input. Thank you for jumping into a controversial topic with us, friends. Come over to Amazon Live and interact with me. See me there. And until next time, we'll see you on the high seas. Good night.
Cruise around the week.
Hey, click me